Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. So back when I used to train a lot of guides, one of the things that I included as my criteria that I was looking for that could show that they were ready to go was the ability to deal with distractions. Because the French Quarter is the land of distractions, especially on busy weekends, like, say, Halloween weekend. And this Halloween weekend, yeah, I've had some fun. They're the normal Halloween kind of distractions, like really cool costumes. Saw a couple of Mardi Gras Indians, a guy walking around with what looked to be a 13-foot boa constrictor. You know, normal stuff. But my favorite costume of the weekend, so far at least, has been a girl on my tour who dressed as Edgar Allan Poe. She was wearing a sort of burlesque style costume with a sort of suit jacket style jacket over it, a sort of shaggy black wig, a mustache, and a raven on her arm. But it was also just, it was a weekend. There was a lot. There was a three guide tour, so 84 people were gathered there waiting for the guides to start, and one of our guides just didn't show, so me and another guide were just left trying to figure out what to do with 84 guests between two of us. Luckily, a few of them decided to very kindly reschedule, but also, it was just one of those weekends that I love because there are people in costumes, so it's really easy for me to look back as I walk and go, okay, I have my circus folk, I have my Renaissance girls, and I have my Santas. Though I did love the moment I crossed Bourbon Street and got to look back and go, well, I lost my Santas. But there was also, we were walking by earlier today when there was just a small fight happening in a liquor store. And I will admit, it takes a lot to get thrown out of a liquor store in the French Quarter during Halloween. So I'm really curious what that guy was doing. But the great thing is I get my guests to the next stop and we gather in and I immediately start hearing screaming again. And I'm sitting there going, oh no. But almost immediately calmed down because I realized he's just yelling "Who dat?" Because it turns out there was also a football game tonight. And it seems we won. But there was also a couple of more interesting incidences this weekend. First one happened today. We were walking down the street and we're walking past a spot where there's a car and then a dumpster. And I sort of see a bicycle coming and I hear a thump and then a thump and then a thump thump thump. And then I'm like, oh no. And I step out and sure enough, the guy, it seems he was a little bit intoxicated, but he hit a bump in the road, hit the car, bounced off the mirror, and then managed to hit the dumpster twice before he made it to the ground. And I'm sitting there like, oh, do you need help? Like, can I help you? And his wife's like, no, he's fine. He's just drunk. We're almost home. And I'm like, you also just hit a car, but okay. But I think my favorite incident of the weekend so far was last night. And it was a relatively calm stop. We were off to the side. Everything was nice and quiet. But we were over by the French Market. And there's a place that sells hammocks over by the French Market. And even though they put the hammocks inside during the night so no one will steal them, what they leave outside is the contraption that they hang the various hammocks from so you can see what they look like. It's not a hammock stand, but it's a stand sturdy enough to hold 3 or 4 different hammocks, and I'm guessing strong enough to hold a person as long as they're light and not, like, you know, swinging around too much. But I'm in the middle of my story, everything's going great, and I look up and I see a couple people standing over there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's fine. They were there before me. I'm going to ignore them. They don't look like they're trying to steal the story. They just happen to be standing there. No biggie. And I notice they're still there, and I keep glancing over at them, and yeah, occasionally they're looking over to listen, because they seem vaguely interested, but about halfway through the story, I realize the girl is tied up, and the guy is doing a photo shoot with her, bound to the hammock stand, and for a brief second, I'm like, is she in trouble? And I was like, nope, she's just doing a BDSM photo shoot. And yes, those are her titties. And my favorite thing about this is I managed to stay focused enough that as I was walking away and talking to my guests, none of them had noticed what was happening behind them. So yeah, if you're going to be a tour guide, you better be used to some weird distractions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.